What's going on, Q2? Welcome back to another dosage of Q-Pill, where I'm always keeping it scientific, politically incorrect, and real. And there's going to be a profusion of all three as we examine the number one cause, number one motivation behind why women are unalived by their romantic partners. Now, for those of you who are unaware, homicide is the number one cause of death for women in romantic relationships, but they don't tell you what the act is that women engage in that often leads to those homicides more often than not. And we about to dive into it. Let's get a dose of this shit. Now, I chose the case that we're about to review because I believe that it is the quintessential example for why women are unalived in their romantic relationships, why they face the highest risk when they commit the act that we're about to see of being unalived by their romantic partner. Now, just a quick reminder that I am going to stop and interject at some points in the video to elucidate on what I feel are the primary factors in why women often get unalived by their romantic partners. Just throwing that out there so you guys don't get impatient or keep asking, oh, why does he keep pausing the video? There's going to be a couple times I need to pause the video because they paint the picture of the motivations that go into why men often doing what they do to their romantic partners.
At some point, the relationship took a turn and began to deteriorate. And
if we know anything about women who often don't want to be with men anymore, it's often because they don't love the man anymore. I don't know how to tell him I don't love him anymore. You know what that means? Because once a woman stops focusing on you, what does she do? She starts focusing on other men. What does she notice? Other men.
And she indicated in a journal that she had been trying to repair the relationship. It became apparent to her over time that the relationship just was not salvageable.
She got some neat-ass handwriting. I want someone to worship the ground I walk on. Someone who can give me great sex. So she's still under the Disney effect, the idea of the perfect relationship, a man who worships the ground she walks on and will say she's always right and cater to her every need and desire, and apparently someone who can give her great sex. Clearly she's not getting good dick in this relationship, and those of you who follow me know that I say sex is the glue that holds a relationship together. A relationship has to be built on great sex because great sex induces the hormones that are required in order to keep you guys attached and craving each other. Without great sex, the relationship falls apart. Okay, this is just a scientific fact. Without great sex, the relationship will inevitably fall apart. Your woman is going to cheat on you. She's going to leave you. Same thing goes for men in a lot of cases. If their woman isn't super sexual enough, she doesn't know how to flirt, she doesn't know how to keep him sexually engaged or aroused or create sexual tension, that guy's eyes are going to wander, and pretty soon his dick is going to follow where his eyes are wandering. That's just the reality of it. She wants somebody who worships the ground that she walks on, though. Women do it to themselves with these unrealistic standards and expectations about the behaviors that they want men to demonstrate. How the fuck is a guy going to worship the ground that you walk on when you should know, you're a grown adult, you're able to think. You should know that every relationship is not all peaches and cream, stars and sunshine. We should know this. At some point, you're going to get on that man's nerves. You're going to do things that get on that man's nerve, and that man cannot worship the ground that you walk on when you're getting the fuck on his nerves. But this is the bullshit we sell to women, and then they believe that this is how relationships are actually supposed to be, and when they don't experience it, they believe that they should terminate the relationship because they're not receiving whatever made-up ideological bullshit, this idea of this romantic idealism in relationships, whatever they aren't receiving, they want out of the relationship instead of working on the relationship, instead of communicating with their partner about what they're not receiving and what they desire, to where they can at least compromise on what the guy can do versus what the woman can do so that they can meet in the middle and satisfy each other to some degree. Because you're never going to get 100% happiness. That's not going to happen. That's not what relationships are about. And an intelligent adult woman should understand this. But they still live in la la and fairy tale land as grown ass women. Even as women, they still think like kids.
In October of 2017, Angela went for a homecoming weekend at her college, Florida A&M University in Tallahassee.
She went to a HBCU. Now, I'm sorry if I offend those of you out there who went to HBCUs, but they're HBCUs. They're not ranked in the top 100 of any discipline, any field. They don't contribute anything meaningful to the world. So I have a personal vendetta with just hyping up HBCUs like they're the most prestigious and most renowned institutions in the world, when in reality it's just more the fact that all black people go there, and it's the black pride that creates this narrative that HBCUs are so great, when in reality HBCUs is like going to school in the hood. That's really what HBCUs are like. It's just going to school in the hood. I just thought I'd interject that point. It wasn't that pertinent to this video, but I just wanted to say it anyway, because as I said, I always keep shit politically incorrect. I'm going to say what I think. I'm going to say what I feel. And that's just how I feel about HBCUs. No offense to you HBCU alumni out there.
She loved her alma mater. She was well thought of on that campus.
She was a member of a D9 organization, historically black fraternities and sororities.
And she came into contact with an individual there by the name of Bakari Burns.
Burns was a successful businessman and a city council member in Orlando, Florida.
They hit it off during that homecoming.
They got together on 4 other...
A successful councilman and a businessman. You know what that means? Oh man, he's great on paper. He's amazing on paper. He's the guy that you bring home to your mom and your dad and they end up wanting you to marry him. But typically these black women like hood niggas. They like hood niggas. So this is the guy that they know is great for them on paper, but they go with the guy who was rough around the edges, raised in the streets, sold drugs, got a record. But she's in a better place in her life. She's a financial assistant, has a secretarial position in her husband's law firm office. So she's used to being around the white collar type. She's attracted to the white collar type.
Occasions. One time they met in D.C. They had a few kind of long distance trysts, you might say.
Back at home in Montclair, James Ray began to be suspicious of Angela.
He asked their daughter what Angela's password was to her phone, and he basically saw all these text communications with Bakari Burns.
I want to spend somewhere on the beach with you. I love to see and feel you have an orgasm. Look at the dichotomy between what she says versus what he says. She says she wants to spend time with him, hinting at an emotional connection. She has a desire to be around him. There's already a bond blossoming there, which is typical. When women cheat, they tend to cheat with somebody that they have an emotional attachment to. They tend to be out of love and fall in love with the guy that they're cheating with. And this man is talking about, I love to see you and feel you have an orgasm. Sex is on his mind. That's what's on his mind. I don't know if he just using her for pussy at this point, but he's definitely charismatic and direct and transparent in the way that he conveys that he desires her sexually. And that keyword orgasm. Remember, she said she wanted to have great sex. She said she wants somebody who gives her great sex. He's giving her orgasms. And what did I say at the beginning of this video? Sex is the glue that holds a relationship together. Because when you orgasm, particularly with women, that makes women attached. So if your woman is cheating and that guy gives your woman an orgasm, you lost her. She going, bruh. She going. If you can't make your woman orgasm, and a woman is fantasizing about another guy and she's orgasming to that fantasy of the other guy, or she's actually cheating and that guy is making her orgasm, you lost her. She's gone.
The content certainly was not for the faint of heart.
About to make me wet. I love when you kiss me. He got her fantasizing. He got her having flashbacks. I don't know where they did it or how they did it, but he got her fantasizing. He got her having flashbacks. Like, she's fiending at this point. As a man, if you go through your woman's phone and you see exchanges with another guy as vivid and lewd as this, it would be abnormal for you not to go into a jealous rage. It would be. It would be abnormal for you to not want to instinctively choke the fuck out of her. It would be. Ain't nothing wrong with expressing our emotions as men. They tell us we should go to therapy. So they should understand that the way we experience jealousy, anger, territoriality, that's our reality. That's our truth. You know, they like to say that. Our truth, my truth. That's a man's truth. The jealous rage and territoriality that he experienced, we're not going to invalidate that. It's a valid thing. Any normal man, if they saw messages, exchanges like this between their woman and another guy, would almost certainly want to bring harm to her immediately because of the state of mind that this would put him in, the state of jealousy and rage that he would experience from seeing this and then envisioning another man pleasing his woman, which is the thing most men do not ever want to experience. We harp on that. We'll ruminate on that. If we know that our woman desires another man sexually, or our woman has had another man, we can't stand the thought or the imagery of that man doing shit to our woman and our woman loving it. Our woman being consumed by how good she feels, how much pleasure she's experiencing at the dick of another man. We can't take that. We can't stand that. And that's perfectly reasonable and valid.
Anybody looking at those text messages would understand that there was a relationship there.
There she go with the emotionality.
And
Look, there's the dichotomy again. What is your most memorable memory of us? An emotional question. Kissing you and gazing into your eyes. I can't think of a better depiction that shows the dimorphism in behavior than this text message right here and the aforementioned one that we just went over. What is your most memorable memory of us? Kissing you and gazing into your eyes. Emotion, sexual. Sexual, emotion. The stereotypical sex difference in psychological values and relationships on display right here.
that is what sent him into a spiral.
A few mornings later, Ray woke Angela up and confronted her.
And she indicated that, I think he got into my phone. He's asking me about cheating.
Angela texted her sister Lisa.
I woke up with him sitting on the edge of the bed, shaking his leg, acting as if he was about to explode. Yeah, he was. He was. And you know what actually exacerbates these situations for the men is you envisioning the other man just flat out being better than you. Women cheat and leave you for another man when they think that man is the better choice, the better option for them than you are. So that does nothing. It does nothing but add the fuel to the fire if you find out that your woman is having an affair, if she's cheating on you, because when you see messages that reinforce the idea that that guy is everything you aren't, or that guy is everything that you wish you were or tried to be for your woman, and she ends up leaving you for that guy because you're not, and instead of even communicating to you about what areas you may lack in or what she may want you to improve on, she just flat out cheats and decides, nah, I'm going over here with this guy because this guy does everything that I want you to do better, or he's everything that I wish that you were and you're not. That will really cause you to sit on the edge of the bed and shake your leg till you fucking tear your ACL, your Achilles, to your ankle twist, till you fracture 6 bones in your toe. That'll cause you to do that. I can't imagine the amount of emotional pain that he's experiencing right now. One, because I've never been cheated on. But I do know how to imagine if I was in a situation. And thankfully enough, when I imagine that I'm in these situations, and some of you fellas might be able to speak to this, if you imagine that you're in this situation, what you do is stimulate your brain in the same way as if you were actually in the situation. Like you actually experience some of the symptoms, the emotional distress that may come along with it if you were actually in this actual situation. Andrew, you need to get out of there ASAP. I am worried about you. Yeah, because he about to delete her ass. He about to delete her ass.
I just felt that she was in danger, and I wanted her to get out of the house.
Ray confided to a friend what he told Angela.
I'm happy that you want to move on, but you're not going to take Alana from me. That's not going to happen.
He's lying. Why would he be happy that she wants to move on and they're still in a relationship? See, he's manipulative. This is just a play. So he's engaging in cognitive reappraisal. He's trying to rationalize so that she doesn't catch on to the idea that he's jealous. He's trying to frame it as if he's not jealous. I'm happy that you want to move on, but you're not going to take Alana away from me. It's deeper than that. It's deeper than that. Because they could arrange co-parenting with Alana. They could arrange some kind of co-parenting schedule with Alana. There was nothing that indicated that because she left him, he was never going to see Alana again. This woman is in love with another man and she wants to be with that man. Hell, if it was up to her, she'd probably give him full custody of Alana so she could go be with this man.
I just think his ego would not allow him to accept the fact that she was going to leave him.
And then Ray decided to confront Angela's lover, Bakari Burns.
Mr. Ray had basically told Mr. Burns, perhaps, I should come down there and handle that. And Mr. Burns took that as a threat and hung up the phone.
And see, how many of you guys out there watching this video know that this is another side effect of dealing with women. This is also why a woman's body count and sexual history or dating history period matters, because we know as men that even if we're not with a woman anymore, we can still be territorial over that woman if we're still attracted to that woman. And we know that we don't just let women go easily, even if women have left. So you immediately run the risk of being deleted as a man by another man over that woman, even if that woman doesn't want to be with that man. Now, I've been in those situations before where I've been approached by a guy who has history with a girl that I'm currently dating, and he still is attracted to her. He still has feelings for her, and regardless of if she blocked him, cut him off, told him never hit her up again, she wants nothing to do with him, he don't give a fuck. He ain't listening to her. He don't care. He gonna do whatever he want. And I say that's one of the major pillars. That's one of the major factors in why women's dating and sexual history actually matter, because women subject you to being deleted by other men who are still jealous and territorial, even if they don't interact with those men any longer. All it takes is one conversation or a woman returning a text or a call. Even if this is just to tell that guy, leave me the hell alone, I've moved on with my life. That can infuriate a man even more. That can trigger jealousy and territoriality in that man, and that woman isn't even his. Because there are men who in their minds, just like this guy right here, will think, if I can't have you, nobody can. I'm never going to let you go. I'm going to fuck up every subsequent relationship that you have after me. I won't let another man get near you. I'm going to run every man away, even if I have to kill him. There are guys who lose their lives because they deal with women who have a history of dealing with dangerous men who have this mentality.
On the morning of October 22nd, James Ray scheduled a series of appointments.
Created his will that day, went to the bank, took funds out of the bank, had the will signed and notarized.
We know that he packed a number of suitcases for his daughter. He packed his passport.
This nigga's planning. He's planning to destroy this woman. He's planning to eviscerate this woman from the face of the planet and then run away to a country that has no extradition. That's why he got his passport and everything. He writing letters and wills to people. Either that or he's planning to kill himself. He's planning to off her and then planning to off himself.
Hello? Now I'm on my way to pick up Alana.
We know that on his way to pick up his daughter, he made a phone call to a woman.
Protecting people, and I'm going to speak in generalities.
He indicates that sometimes you have to protect people in ways that seem unconventional or might even seem crazy.
If you ever get an opportunity to communicate my thoughts, please don't hesitate. Please don't. Especially, and it's going to sound scary, but don't get scared. Especially if it's to Alana.
Nah, he way too calm, cool, and calculated. These the motherfuckers that you got to watch out for. To him, this is all business. He's talking as if this is something normal and natural, like it's just another day at work, another day in the office, another business plan. Listen at how apathetic and callous he sounds for what he's planning to do.
And Mr. Ray indicated he didn't tell her everything, that he wasn't telling her everything, and he wasn't telling her everything on purpose.
Good. However, if the stars don't align correctly for whatever reason, and life gets more puzzling and mumbo jumbo, and I'm not available for whatever reason, maybe I decide to move to Ethiopia for whatever reason. Can you make me a promise and try to stay in touch with Alana?
Now, why she ain't asked no questions? I'd have been like, bro, why you talking like this? What's going on? What's going down? What happened? What's up? Why you talking like this? If life gets more murky, you know, and I just feel like I want to up and just move to Africa, what you talking about? You ain't never said anything about moving to Ethiopia. What are you talking about? What happened? Bro, we need to have a therapy session. What's going on with you? Come on, come sit down. Come chop it up with me. Let's chop it up man to man, face to face. What's going on, bro?
Once that call was completed, he did sign his daughter out of the school. We had the sign-out sheet that indicated Mr. Ray picked her up at approximately 5:30 p.m. and made 2 additional phone calls,
including to his grown daughter, Chelsea, with his younger daughter in the car listening.
Hey, Chelsea, how you doing? This is Dad. Love you. Listen, I'm going to ask you a big favor. I don't know when I'll get to talk to you, but get to know your sister, Alana, please. All right? I thank you very much.
Thank you for the present you gave me.
All right, talk to you later, Chelsea. Love you.
On that same day, October 22nd, Angela was putting in motion her plans to move out.
She had an appointment that day at 11:30 to look at homes in the area.
She had already looked at several houses, and I just encouraged her to just pick a house so that you can get out.
Now, on the same day she was looking to move out, the same day that he was planning and writing wills and making phone calls and basically admitting that he's suicidal at this point, or it's all or nothing at this point, she was already looking for a house, which tells me, I don't know this for a fact, but this tells me that he must have been monitoring her moves. Because if he was planning along with her the same time, like his plans are parallel to hers, he's making moves the same time she's making moves, as if he knows that he's going to do what he's going to do at the time that he's going to do it based on the time that she has to move out. And I don't know how, but she said she wants somebody who's less dictating. So his behavior does indicate that he's probably extremely controlling, and he does know her every move. He's probably somebody who has private investigators following her around. He knows her whereabouts. He's geotagged her location. He probably put a tracker on her car. Probably has some kind of tracking app synced to his phone from her phone. The fact that everything he's doing is in coordination with what she's doing on the same day tells me that he's been monitoring her every move.
Things that I was learning about him and the behavior that I was seeing from him, I did not feel that she was safe.
Angela's real estate agent sent word she had found a possible place for her in Montclair. But Angela never showed up for her appointment.
I'm gonna just stop it there because I'm sure that you guys can figure out what happened. He murdered her. Shot her several times that night when she returned to the house. Now, this is fascinating for me because this is what happens in the majority of relationships where a woman ends up deleted or unalived by her romantic partner. The motive is typically infidelity, because deep within the evolved psychological male brain is a visceral disdain for the risk that he might raise another man's offspring. It's a phenomenon known as paternity uncertainty. Women always know who their kids are because they conceive them, they carry them, they birth them. Men can't know. Women have concealed ovulation, only a 20% chance of conceiving each month in a 5-day period in a 12-hour window. That's an extremely, extremely small window to conceive. But as a man, if you're dealing with a woman and you know y'all have issues, y'all haven't been having sex, y'all barely have sex, the sex is not great, she finds more euphoria and bliss in being out and about around friends at work. You're not her safe haven. You're not her source of invigoration, exhilaration. You know that she probably getting dick from somewhere else if she's walking around happy all the time. You know that if she ain't calling you, telling you where she is, she's not transparent in her communication about her whereabouts, but she always smiling and giggling, that's reason to be skeptical. It is. It's reason to be skeptical. It's a reason to be skeptical. And because of this deeply evolved, visceral disdain, this loathing that men have for the risk that they might raise another man's kids unknowingly, because they then be taking resources away from their offspring and giving them to their rival, because that's any man who has slept with your woman or your woman wants to sleep with is your rival, because in essence, as animals, because humans are animals, you're competing for sexual access, for reproductive rights to that woman. That's your seed you're trying to implant in that woman so that woman can raise your child. Most people don't like to think about it that way because it makes us seem like wild animals, but humans are animals. And we can't override our evolved psychological adaptations, which is why we get jealous and territorial and aggressive. We make guard. We want to chase away other men or try to deter other men from liking our women, sleeping with our women, and also deter our women from sleeping with other men, liking other men, crushing on other men. All of that is deep within our evolved psychology as men. That's the reality. So this is the reason why we often see men in relationships, when they suspect that they're being cheated on or they find out that they're being cheated on, they spiral into a jealous rage. They see red, they black out, they delete their woman, they unalive their woman, they off their woman. They don't think about the long-term ramifications. They don't think about jail. Hell, a lot of them, when they do it, even call the authorities and tell them that they did it. And the internet, especially YouTube, is rife with cases where these exact things occur. I watch them all the time because it's something about women committing infidelity and the threat of a man raising another man's kids and the thought of another man pleasing his woman that just takes us to the darkest caves, to the deepest abyss of our psychology, and makes us wild the fuck out and take our woman's life. No matter how much we love her, no matter how much we care for her, no matter how many memories we created with her, all of that is forgotten in an instant, in a jealous rage, because your woman liked another man, let another man penetrate her, potentially inseminate her, and impregnate her. And you would be susceptible to raising that man's kid without knowing, or him losing access to the only sexual access that he had. And most men just don't want to deal with that kind of emotional pain. That's why they either off themselves, they off the woman, or they off both. Evolutionary psychology is nothing to play with, and that's why it's my favorite field. That's why it's the field I've been studying for the last decade of my life, especially when it comes to romantic relationships and dark occurrences like this. I hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. You guys can find the full video and the full court case on Court TV. You can go watch it yourself in depth and evaluate it for yourself, as well as hundreds, thousands of other cases that exist on YouTube that have this exact same occurrence. I'll catch you guys on the next dosage. Stay Q-pilled, stay dangerous.